And you're live here on the Journeys channel. Apologies, you have to break into regular programming to bring you this live feed from the Kempinski Hotel because government is unveiling the first batch of vehicles assembled by VW right here in Ghana. And right there in your feed is the Trade Minister, Alan Tremantin. He's addressing the gathering at the Kempinski Hotel. Let's go there live now for that interaction.
In vain, I would like to acknowledge the contribution of the DFID and the UK government for their immense support in helping us plot our way through the development of this industry. And again, I want to commend the African Automotive Association, led by my very good friend, old friend, Mr. Alec Erwin, who used to be the Minister of Trade and Industry of South Africa, a former colleague, who I called upon at the beginning of this whole process to support Ghana in developing the technical content for this industry. Mr. President, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all the major economies of the world have one thing in common. They all have a very vibrant automobile industry. You name them: the United States, China, Japan, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, South Korea, India. One thing that they have in common between them is a vibrant auto industry. And if Ghana wants to become a big global player, we must learn from what these other countries have done. And so I believe that, Mr. President, today we are sowing the seed of what potentially could propel Ghana onto the global economic landscape. But, Mr. President, we are not doing this because others are doing it. And I remember when we first started talking about developing the auto industry in Ghana, the regular refrain was that, my friend, you are not there yet. Take your time. Yes, indeed, my response has always been, when do you want to get there? And how do you get there? Because a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first mile. So under the leadership of His Excellency the President, we took a bold step and decided that the automobile industry will become one of the strategic anchor industries of our country under our 10-point industrial and transformation agenda. And so in August 2018, after very extensive consultations with the global auto manufacturers, with local stakeholders, with experts from our universities, and many others, we were able to craft our Ghana Automotive Development Policy. And I'm pleased to hear from Mr. Thomas Schaefer, who incidentally was the one who took VW to China years ago when nobody believed that China would become a global economic power. So it's this same man who is seeing something in Ghana after having taken VW to China. If he wants now to bring VW to Ghana, we must listen to him. And so, under the leadership of the President, we developed this policy. And as government, one of the instruments that we have to ensure that our country develops is the tool of making policy. So we should not be surprised that just with the crafting of a credible policy, we've been able to attract many of these global automobile companies. Apart from Toyota, apart from Volkswagen, there are others who are in the pipeline. And hopefully before the end of the year, we will see other events of this nature. But Mr. President, what is happening today means a lot for us in our economy. Number one, it is going to help reduce our import bill. Ghana, on the average, has an import bill of over $10 billion per annum. In 2018, our import bill was $12 billion. And our 30 leading imports constitute about 57% of this amount. Just 30 commodities imports. Now, out of these 30, the most significant ones, the top three, is led by the importation of transport vehicles, both passenger and transport goods vehicles. And so there's absolutely no doubt that this effort of the government, together with the private sector, is going to help us save scarce foreign exchange resources. But it goes beyond that. It is also creating an opportunity for us to earn significant amounts of foreign exchange. And it is the foreign exchange that we earn that will stabilize our local currency. And we know that the global trade in the automobile industry is in trillions. Just across from Ghana, the market that is offered by a country like Nigeria alone is significant. So I believe that under the canopy of the African Continental Free Trade Area, this industry is also going to be a major export earner for us. But it also goes beyond that. It is going to create jobs, and not just jobs, but skilled jobs and highly paid jobs. Again, it goes beyond that. It is also going to stimulate the growth of small businesses. The auto industry is one of the most vertically integrated industries globally. You see a car, a VW car, the number of component parts that go into that car is thousands of component parts. And so we have an opportunity of stimulating the growth of our small and medium enterprises to become part of the supply chain of this assembly and manufacturing industry. But it also goes beyond that. It is going to stimulate the growth of other sectors of our economy. We know that any car has a number of parts, which includes steel, aluminum, and plastics. And we also know that under the direction and leadership of His Excellency the President, we've launched a major offensive to try and develop an integrated bauxite and aluminum industry. We've also launched another initiative to develop our iron and steel industry. We are also developing our petrochemical industry. From our petrochemical industry, we are going to get plastics. And from our aluminum industry, we'll provide aluminum, and then the steel from iron and steel. So we are building a component manufacturing base that will help us add value to our natural resources. And I could go on and on and on. But Mr. President, distinguished invited guests, VW is here with us. And as is often said, the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. So I highly recommend to you the brands of Volkswagen, first-class quality, value for money, affordable vehicles. I recommend these vehicles to you. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Trade Minister, Mr. Alan Kyerematen, and your team. Congratulations on a job well done. There's been a bit of talk, and I believe at this point, it would be nice to have some little entertainment. She was the lady who performed her own rendition of the national anthem moments ago. She's been doing music for the last 11 years, both locally and internationally. At the beginning of this year, she released her debut album titled Ago. She's coming off stage in the next few seconds to perform 3 of her hits. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome recording artist internationally and locally, songwriter, singer, and actress Yaya.
Thank you. This next song is called
Thank you so much. I'll be calling on you again for the national anthem after the president's address. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I now humbly ask you to be on your feet, as it is an honor and a privilege for me to welcome the very first gentleman of the nation and our special guest for this morning's event, His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Chief of Staff of the Office of the President, Senior Minister, Minister for Trade and Industry, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, virtual greetings to the German Ambassador to Ghana and to the Chairman and Managing Director of VW Africa, the Chief Executive Officer, Management and Staff of VW Ghana, the Chief Executive Officer of Universal Motors Limited, the Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. On Thursday, 30th August 2018, our nation played host to the German Chancellor, Frau Angela Merkel, arguably the greatest European statesman of this generation. She visited Ghana at my invitation, and in our discussions, an agreement was reached between government, Volkswagen, and its Ghanaian partner, Universal Motors Limited, for the assembly and ultimately the production of VW vehicles in the country. There were many who expressed doubts about the feasibility of such an assembly plant being established in Ghana. And there were those who, for narrow partisan considerations, described this announcement as nothing but a hoax which would never see the light of day. 2 years on, we've confounded the doubting Thomases, and I'm happy to be here this morning to launch officially the first Volkswagen vehicle that has been assembled in our country. It is a good day, a very good day for Mother Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, in the run-up to the December 2016 elections, and as captured in the 2016 manifesto of the New Patriotic Party, I stated at the time that a future Akufo-Addo government, under its industrial transformation agenda, will partner private, local, and foreign investors to develop large-scale strategic anchor industries to serve as growth poles for the economy. One of those anchor industries was the vehicle assembly and manufacturing sector. With recent estimates pegging the value of vehicle imports into the country at $1.5 billion United States dollars annually, the development of a domestic automobile industry would undoubtedly promote import substitution and enhance Ghanaian exports, particularly within the framework of the African Continental Free Trade Area, whose coming into force is imminent and whose secretariat is happily located here in our capital city of Accra. When COVID-19 reared its head in Ghana, one of the key objectives set by government in response was to use the challenge of the pandemic as an opportunity to inspire the expansion of our domestic capability and deepen our self-reliance. To wit, we want to rely on the things we make and grow, not on the things we import. Indeed, the pandemic has disrupted the global supply chain, but it is also opening up opportunities for us to enhance our industrial productive capacity, increase our agricultural output, to engender our food security, and generally boost Ghanaian exports to markets in the continent and beyond. A clear case in point has been our recent experience in the garment and textile sector with the onset of COVID-19. With the support of government, our hitherto dormant domestic garment factories have over the past few months been revived and have been able to produce currently 15 million face masks and other personal protective equipment for frontline health workers and for all those, i.e. students, teaching and non-teaching staff, involved in the partial reopening of our junior and senior high schools, universities, and other tertiary institutions. This has saved our nation millions of dollars in foreign exchange, and at a time of job losses, has created jobs for thousands of people, especially young people, across the country. These job opportunities would have otherwise gone to foreigners in distant shores had we chosen to import these PPEs. Government is determined to continue this development with appropriate policy, including insisting that all public agencies purchase henceforth their textile and garment needs from domestic sources. We want to replicate this example in all other sectors of our economy, including the automobile industry. We want to assemble and produce vehicles in Ghana and thereby reduce eventually our over-reliance on the importation of used vehicles. This, as a result, will create a lot of highly skilled jobs, reduce the high amounts of foreign exchange used in the importation of second-hand vehicles, and thereby help strengthen the Ghanaian currency, whilst at the same time earn the nation foreign exchange through the exportation of made-in-Ghana vehicles. That is why I am pleased that a major global automobile company such as Volkswagen has decided to assemble a number of its brands right here in Ghana, not only for domestic, but also for the larger West African market. VW's presence in Ghana has been facilitated by government's bold move to develop the Ghana Automotive Development Policy under the auspices of the Ministry of Trade and Industry, with generous fiscal incentives. And I applaud the hard-working, experienced Minister, Alan Kyerematen, in bringing this to fruition. He has managed to have the policy deliberated and adopted by Parliament. For the young generation of Ghanaians, we have to remind them that Volkswagen is not new to Ghana. The popular VW Beetle was the vehicle of choice for most first-time Ghanaian car owners in the 1960s and 70s. Indeed, we had a nickname for it. We called it Tefre. At the time, it was distributed by RT Briscoe Limited, which also distributed Mercedes-Benz, another famous German brand. In the 1970s and 80s, Golf, again from the VW family, became very popular in Ghana. It is gratifying to note that VW is going beyond the Beetle to assemble in Ghana other brands, namely Tiguan, Terramount, Amarok, Caddy, Polo, and Passat. Volkswagen means the people's car. So I'm expectant that the brands being assembled in Ghana will not only be affordable, but also be of the highest quality. I assure Volkswagen Ghana the government will continue to support the company in diverse ways to ensure the sustainability and profitability of this venture in Ghana. To this end, the Chief of Staff at the Office of the President has issued recently a new directive to all ministries, departments, and agencies, and indeed to the Public Procurement Authority, to give first preference to the acquisition of locally assembled vehicles when public funds are used to buy vehicles. Additionally, the Minister for Finance, in his excellent mid-year budget review statement to Parliament, indicated the government is going to establish an automobile industry development support center, which will, amongst others, coordinate the technical processes for licensing domestic vehicle assemblers and manufacturers, and monitor also their compliance with industry regulations and standards. The center will also coordinate the implementation of an essential element of a viable automotive sector, that is the establishment of a vehicle financing scheme, which will link financial institutions to individuals and groups interested in purchasing newly assembled vehicles in Ghana. Furthermore, the center will carry out an automotive skills enhancement program to provide requisite skills for the various categories of the value chain of the automobile industry. All these measures are situated in the context of the Ghana Automotive Development Policy. With the Chinese company Sinotruck already engaged in the assembly of trucks in Ghana, I'm hopeful that other global automobile companies, which have indicated their preparedness to set up shop in Ghana, will soon follow the remarkable pioneering example of Volkswagen. In developing the new automobile industry in Ghana, our intention is not to destroy the livelihoods of local stakeholders engaged in the industry value chain. I've engaged with representatives of the various stakeholder groupings and given them the assurance the government will introduce the necessary policy safeguards to protect their interests, enable them also over time to adapt to the new realities of the emerging automotive sector. Government will continue to introduce appropriate incentives and support interventions to attract both foreign and local investments into the automobile assembly and manufacturing sector in Ghana. It is worth noting that already another Ghanaian-owned company, the Kantanka Group, is in possession of a license to undertake auto assembly operations in Ghana. I believe the development and modernization of the industry present a win-win opportunity for both foreign and local companies engaged in the industry value chain. I'm confident that we in Ghana are on the cusp of a bold new beginning in our country, which will repudiate our fast-receding culture of failure. We will make it. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, I have the great pleasure to unveil formally and launch the first VW vehicle assembled in Ghana, the first of many to be made in Ghana, God willing. May God bless us all in our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. And thank you for your attention.
For your visionary leadership. Today's event is a testament to that one. We have officially come to the close of the very first part of our event. And as you can see right now, this is the unveiling of the very first VW vehicle assembled right here in Ghana. And according to the president, this is the first of many to come. So yes, so to do us the honors, Mr. President, together with the Honorable Minister, Mr. Alantra Mating, Mr. Pompeper, and Mr. Subi Akkad, and we'll be adding Nana Asase. Nana Asase, where are you? If you're here, it's time for the unveiling. It's time to outdoor our new baby. So to lead this very important segment, performing with a concha and talking drum, Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that is the very first assembled VW vehicle right here in Ghana. The president has taken his seat in the vehicle. He's about to drive off, I believe. So that's the unveiling of the very first, very first VW vehicle assembled right here in Ghana. Please do not leave the premises yet. Kindly wait until the president takes his leave of us before you leave. Nana Sase.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats whilst the unveiling is done. But please do not leave until the president exits the premises. Thank you, Mr. President, for honoring our invitation. Thank you, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of history this morning. VW is here to stay in Ghana. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Chief Executive Officer of Universal Motors Limited, Mr. Subi Akkad, thank you for coming. Jeffrey Opon-Pepra, thank you so very much for being with us this morning. The Chief of Staff, Madame Akosia Fremel, say, we appreciate your coming, ma'am. The Senior Minister, Honorable Yao Safo Mafo, thank you so much. The Honorable